like to call the Planning Development Committee to order, please.
Counselor Walker.
Here.
Counselor McBurdy. Here. Counselor Cordino.
Here.
Could I get a motion to approve the minutes for May 17th, 2021? Counselor Cordino, Counselor McBurdy.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Any old business? Seeing none, we'll go right down to communication. The city clerk's office has received a request from Stacy Dawson of the Sting of Oswego Incorporated, located at 49 West Bridge Street, for a waiver of noise ordinance in order to have live music on the patio of their establishment. I see there's no one here to talk about it. Well, this is a request we usually get every year for this, and we've never had a problem that's coming to our attention, so, and they're usually pretty good if they get a call from the neighbor or something about the noise, and they will turn it down. I've heard that, so. Anybody else have anything to say? Councilor Cordino?
Yeah, Chairman, I just want to make sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this similar to the arrangement that like Gibby's and some other taverns like Clubhouse?
Yes, there's always a
But
set
the
forth.
times are similar or the same, right?
The times are all the
So,
same.
because I remember, I think we were supposed to kind of be uniformed.
Yes, that's what we did.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Yep. Anything else? Could I get a motion, please? Councilor Cordino? Councilor McBurdy?
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Seeing no more new business, could I get a motion to adjourn, please? Councilor McBurdy, Councilor Cordino?
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to call the Physical Services Committee meeting for August 2nd, 2021 to order. Please call the roll.
Counselor Hill.
Here.
Counselor Burridge.
Here.
Counselor Walker.
Here.
Counselor Gozick.
Here.
Could I have a motion to approve the minutes of our July 19th, 2021 meeting? Counselor Walker, Counselor Burge.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Is there any old business to come before this committee? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business under communication. Item number 1, Mr. Edward Beckwith, owner of a single-family dwelling located at 278 West 8th Street, requests the use of public space in order to install a 6-foot-high fence between the curb and the property line. This is in Counselor Gozick's ward. You have any concerns or issues with the request?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I support it 100%.
Okay, and I did speak with Mr. McGann, and he also supports the request and saw no issues. Any questions from the council? Okay, could I have a motion, please? Counselor Gozick, Counselor Burge.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Item number 2, the Special Events Committee has received a request from Teresa Chago, a member of Christ the Good Shepherd Church, for permission to hold a mass to honor all 911 heroes in Brightbeck Park on Saturday, September 11th, 2021. Any questions or concerns from the council on this request? Okay, could I have a motion, please? Counselor Burridge, Counselor Walker.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Item number 3, the Special Events Committee has received a request from Catalina Fierro of the Family Resource Center of Oswego in order to host a 1.23-mile walk to promote the importance of life on Saturday, September 25th, 2021. Any questions or concerns from the council on this request? Okay. Could I have a motion, please? Counselor Burridge, Counselor Walker.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
The next 2 items are just rescind and replace items for just errors in the original resolutions. The first is related to Paddle Fest, which was rescheduled, and the second is related to the YMCA for Pumpkin Fest. There was just an issue with the original resolution. Number 4, the Special Events Committee has received a request from Mercedes Nice, Executive Director of the H. Lee White Maritime Museum, regarding the H. Lee White Museum's Paddle Fest to be held on Saturday, August 28, 2021. This is just the new date. Any questions or concerns from the council? Okay, could I have a motion, please? Counselor Gozick, Counselor Walker.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
And item number 5, the Special Events Committee has received a request from the Oswego YMCA for use of public space on October 2nd and 3rd, 2021 at East Park to host the annual Pumpkin Fest. Any questions or concerns from the council? Okay, could I have a motion, please? Counselor Walker, Counselor Burge.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Is there any other business to come before this committee? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Counselor Gozick, Counselor Burge.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
All right, at this time, I'd like to open the Administrative Services Committee meeting for August 2nd. Please call the roll.
Counselor Coordino.
Here.
Counselor McBurdy. Here. Counselor Hill.
Here.
Counselor Plunkett.
Here.
Counselor Burge.
Here.
I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of the July 19th, 2021 committee meeting. Counselor Hill, Counselor Plunkett.
Counselor Coordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Is there any old business? Seeing none. Item number 1, under communication, Mayor William J. Barlow Jr. requests a budget amendment to the Tourism Contracted Services Account A64750440 in the amount of $3,500 to cover lighthouse tours for the weekend of August 7th and 8th, provided by the H. Lee White Maritime Museum. Is there anybody here to speak to that? Seeing nobody, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, and you probably read everything, counselors, in your packet, that because of I guess that's Lighthouse Week or something coming up. So we're going to be offering through the Maritime Museum free tours of the lighthouse. Anybody have any questions on the council or comments from the public? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please? Counselor McBurdy, Counselor Burge.
Counselor Coordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Item number 2, Mayor William J. Barlow Jr. requests authorization to extend the current lease agreement with Camelot Lodge LLC for an additional 4 months to house the City of Oswego Tourism Center. I don't see anybody from that office here. Again, this is pretty self-explanatory that we're taking the property over on West First Street that was originally opened up for the COVID testing site, and we're extending the lease, and we're going to be using that as a tourism center to offer information for people coming into the city, to encourage them to shop locally, to eat in our restaurants, and to encourage them to see what we have to offer, like museums. Anybody have any questions or comments on this one from the council? From the public? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please? Counselor Plunkett, Counselor McBurdy.
Counselor Coordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
Item number 3, Jennifer A. Riebel, Personnel Director, requests a transfer of funds in the amount of $2,300 from the General Fund Contingent Account A19900460 to the Personnel Department Personal Services Contracted Account A1430040 to cover the cost of lifeguard training. And would somebody like to speak to this?
In an effort to make sure the pool opened this summer, we had to get lifeguards trained because of COVID canceling everything. So we are fully staffed and operational.
All right, very good. Thank you. Any questions for Jen from the council? Any comments from the public? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please? Counselor Hill, Counselor McBurdy.
Counselor Coordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burge.
Yes.
City Engineer Jeff Hinderleiter requests approval of change order number 3 for the contract with PAC Associates of Oswego Incorporated for the Oswego City Hall Building Envelope Improvements Project in the amount of $41,789 for additional work. City Engineer Hinderleiter, you're up.
All right, so this project's about wrapped up. You can see the landscaping's done, and they did a beautiful job. What came up, and this was a conversation with PAC that actually started probably 8 to 10 months ago, about getting quotes for the back doors. I don't know if you've used the back doors recently, but they've seen better days. We've had some security concerns, whether or not they're closing. During COVID, we had times when the doors weren't actually latching, and so we had to tell people, if you're coming in and out, make sure that that they're locked. And the DPW actually was working on getting them replaced, but they're obviously busy with lots of other things. So the conversation came up about having, under the City Hall contract, amending the contract in order to get those doors in. They were actually part of the contract to begin with, and when the budget came in astronomically higher than what we had allotted, we backed a lot of that work out that was going on in the elevator tower. But as time has gone on, I think it's a good time to take care of the doors. So the price tag of this is higher than what the bid price was. That's as a result of COVID and prices being all over the place now. But I do think that it is something that we need to do, whether we choose to do it now or do it later. That's your decision as the council. But this is the price that we secured from our contractor to have that work completed.
All right, thank you. One quick question. Are those doors original to when they did the addition in, I think it
Yes.
was 1980?
Yep.
So they're 41 years old?
Yep. If you come here in the winter time, you'll actually see snow and ice blow through the doors because there's gaps where there's no weather stripping. The door on this side, you can actually see the lower hinge is actually broken and loose. So the time has come, I think, to take care of those doors.
Sounds about right. Any questions or comments from the council on this one? Public? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please? Counselor Burridge, Counselor Hill.
Counselor Corodino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Item number 5, City Engineer Jeff Hinderleiter requests approval of change order number 12 for the contract with Patricia Electric Incorporated for the East Side Wastewater Treatment Plant Asset Management Plan Improvement Project in the amount of $6,778.93. Jeff?
So I know that the sewer plants are probably your favorite place to go hang out and play cards and spend all your extra time. That seems to be one of my favorite places to go lately. But in the basement of the East Side plant, beneath the old incinerators, and that end of the plant is actually a pretty dark place. And there's not much operations that goes on in there, but we do have some equipment. And every time you go to that space, you have to remember to bring flashlights or you're turning on your phone to be able to see. It's pretty dark. Different times when we've had different drainage issues or leaks, you end up wandering into that space in the dark to figure out what's going on there. And finally, the Camden group asked, why don't we have lights over there? And it seemed like a reasonable request that we try to make sure all those spaces are lit so they're safe to go in and be able to monitor what's going on in the plant. So we approached Patricia to see what it would take to add some more light fixtures to that area as they're doing that work throughout the plant. And so this was their response, and I believe to be a reasonable cost for the work and something that I think will be helpful for keeping that facility kind of up to date and making it safe to work and to be in those spaces.
All right, thank you. I just have one question. In the paperwork that you provided for this particular project, it didn't really describe what kind of fixtures, and you know, I've been changing all the lights in my house to LED, so I'd like to know, are these traditional fluorescents or are they high-performance, energy-efficient LED fixtures?
We're doing all LED fixtures through the entire plant. So these would be the same ones we've been using elsewhere, which are quite lovely, and LED.
Very good.
Yes, as lovely as they can be for a sewer plant.
I thought we'd call it a wastewater management plant.
We can call it that too. Wastewater management, that sounds much more professional.
It does, doesn't it? Anybody else have any questions for Jeff on this one from the public? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please? Counselor Plunkett, Counselor McBrearty.
Counselor Corodino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Item number 6, Counselor McBrearty requests discussion regarding funding for the restoration of the fence surrounding the Fort Oswego historical marker at West First and Lake Street. Counselor McBrearty?
So I emailed everybody and we included the preliminary quote and the photographs of what it looks like now. So Spolita Construction is the managing contractor for the development at Harborview. And when it was hit and they broke the piece of the fence, they committed at that time to fixing that when it was time. I'm sorry, I just got notification that we have a small issue in the ward, so that's what my phone is going off about. So anyway, we brought Universal Metals in to give us the estimate on the repair for the broken piece. And they came back and, they gave the quote for that to Spolita, but they also informed us that at the time, when they went to look at it, they identified some structural issues with the rest of the fence and suggested that this was a good opportunity to get it all done. They'll bill Spolita for the piece that they were responsible for, and they'll bill us for the sandblasting, reinforcing, and painting of the rest of it. Also, we were able to leverage a 50% commitment from Spolita on the removal and reinstallation, which was a big plus on our side. So that $35.20 that we're asking for is the city's portion for the rest of the fence that won't be taken care of with the repair of the broken piece, and 50% of the cost of the removal and reinstallation. And then Spolita will pay their $1,900 for the repair, and they're committed to 50% of the other 50% of the removal and reinstallation. While it's gone, DPW has already committed to taking care of the landscaping issues that exist inside the fence, and a long-term solution so that it looks clean and inviting for a little ways to come. Does anybody have any questions?
From the public? Anybody in the public? Yes.
I would just like to advocate for it because I'm not sure it was stated in there. But this little piece of history is a section of fence that surrounded Lafayette Park across from the White House during the time of Lincoln. And when that was dismantled, some of it went to Sackett's Harbor, some of it went to here about 1890. And I hope you feel all very good about approving, an expenditure to keep this going for further generations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For that insight. Anybody else on the council have any questions, comments? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Councilor McBurney, Councilor Burridge.
Counselor Corodino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Item number 7, Councilor Robert Corodino requests a budget amendment to Parks A71100410 in the amount of $3,245 for the painting of the Shapiro Park pickleball court. I guess I'll take this one. As most people know, we have a pickleball court here in the city of Oswego that was put in about 5 years ago, and we recently paved it back in May during the paving projects, and it's used just about every day. I go by Monday through Friday, and it's and sometimes Saturday, and it's always being used. So this is the deal that we've worked out with the pickleball players, that the city would pay for the paint, which is the cost that we're talking about today, and the players who are very happy about this will contribute their labor and will paint it. And I got a feeling that my wife and I might be there too. So I'm asking for this budget amendment so we can buy the paint, order the paint. It takes about a month to get. Again, this is a COVID-related delay. According to the paint supplier, that everything is being made, custom made, so this is not paint on the shelf. So it's about a month. So if we approve it now, we're talking about the middle of September, and we want to get it done before fall and before it gets cold. So I'm asking for everybody's support on this issue. Anybody have any concerns, questions, complaints? Seeing none from the council? I'm sorry, there's a resident from the 7th Ward.
Yes, that's a really beautiful up there, and it's a good place to go, especially for photos.
Thank you, Mr. Resident from the 7th Ward. That was unsolicited, by the way. I did not ask him to say that. I see nobody else. How about a motion, please? Councilor Hill, Councilor Burridge.
Before I call roll, I do have to ask who will prepare the resolution.
Who will prepare the resolution? That's a good question. How about me?
All right, perfect. Counselor Corodino?
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy?
Yes.
Counselor Hill?
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burge?
Yes.
Item number 8, Mayor William J. Barlow Jr. and City Attorney Kevin Caracoli request executive session to discuss the proposed acquisition, sale, or lease of real property, or the proposed acquisition of securities, or sale or exchange of securities held by such public body, but only when publicity would substantially affect the value thereof. Sealed bids, the financial/credit history of a particular person or corporation as it relates to the proposed bids for the purchase of city-owned property. So item number 8 and then item number 9 are both items that we will be going into executive session. And I will read number 9 as well. Personnel Director Jennifer A. Riebel requests executive session to discuss the collective negotiations pursuant to Article 14, Taylor Law of the Civil Service Law, ASME Local 1785 and SEIU Local 200 United. So after I said all that, I need a motion for us to go into executive session. Counselor McBurdy, Counselor Plunkett.
Counselor Corodino?
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy?
Yes.
Counselor Hill?
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Burge?
Yes. Counselor Burge, Counselor McBurdy.
Counselor Corodino?
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy?
Yes.
Counselor Hill? Counselor Plunkett?
Excuse.
Counselor Burge?
Yes. Is there any other business? Seeing none, can I have a motion to adjourn? Counselor Hill, Counselor McBurdy.
Counselor Corodino?
Yes.
Counselor McBurdy?
Yes.
Counselor Hill? Counselor Burge?
Yes.